While Shawn Pilot is generally known around the world as one of the legendary four members of the cast of Car Master's Rust to Riches, rising to prominence in the mainstream around September 2018 when the first season was launched, but he actually has an acting past with which not many fans are cognizant of. The group provides makeovers for classic cars under the leadership of world-renowned Mark Toll, who founded the garage and had the idea for the series. Mark started his business out of Temecula, California, initially creating props for film studios and TV shows. By the time he reached out to Netflix to have a show made about his business, it had already graduated to proper car restoration and makeovers. Shawn was part of the original crew when the show started, immediately becoming one of the legendary four. Alongside Toll, Tony Quinones, Michael Caveman Pyle, and Constance Nunez. The premise of the series was simple. Acquire classic cars that don't fetch that much of a price on the market and turn them into an item worth a fortune. To achieve this, the team used creative design solutions that made otherwise standard cars appear truly unique. The show has been ongoing for another 32 episodes over 4 seasons thus far. Netflix appears to be satisfied with how well the series is doing, and Season 5 is in the making for an early 2023 release. Curiously, not everything has been sunshine and rainbows for the crew, especially Toll himself, since the garage started out by replicating rather sci-fi looking vehicles from popular films and TV shows. Mark eventually got into some legal trouble. Namely, the Warner Bros.' legal team got up its business over the recreation and sale of various Batmobiles, the original ride of Gotham's Dark Knight. Toll apparently lost the lawsuit as per HollywoodReporter.com when, in 2013, a California judge ruled that Mark didn't just take his inspiration from the design of the mythical car, but rather that he created a veritable replica of an actual DC Universe character. Marx's logic posited that a vehicle can be a character in and of itself, but U.S. District Court Justice Ronald Liu disagreed. In his elaboration, the judge stated, "The Batmobile is a character and exists in both 2- and 3-dimensional forms. Its existence in 3-dimensional form is the consequence of the Batmobile's portrayal in the 1989 live-motion film and the 1966 television series. Defendant did not copy the design of a mere car. He copied the Batmobile character." The reason that Mark thought this endeavor was safe to pursue is because normally, inanimate objects under copyrighted content that aren't perfectly replicated, but whose design is only a borrowed idea, are generally considered homages to those objects, and are thus called useful articles. According to US copyright law, useful articles cannot be copyrighted, however, their conceptual elements can. Justice Liu's ruling addressed this issue furthermore. The fact that the unauthorized Batmobile replicas the defendant manufactured, which are derivative works, may be useful articles is irrelevant. A derivative work can still infringe the underlying copyrighted work even if the derivative work is not independently entitled to copyright protection. Basically, the judge's argument was that the Batmobile itself isn't a car, but way more than that. According to which idea, Mark stole the shape of an actual Batman original gadget and then turned that into a vehicle. As confusing as that may sound, the legal proceedings this was explained in did not end in Mark's favor, and Warner Bros. Won the lawsuit. Interestingly enough, there was even mention of Warner Bros.' future plans to perhaps create their own real-life Batmobiles, since they've already licensed toy versions of it, along with many fans wondering whether Gotham Garage had any affiliation with Warner Bros. Themselves. The whole creative process that was simply meant to be fun and entertaining had ultimately almost bankrupted Mark's business. On top of that, there have been allegations that the show might be scripted, and that not all of the cars have been worked on as legitimately as represented by Netflix. To begin with, it doesn't often seem that Constance Nunez knows exactly what to do, and some fans have speculated that she might only be a fake mechanic on the show placed there for her physical beauty. There's also the fact that not a lot of actual work is ever shown being done. That is, what actually creates the coveted vehicles. Car enthusiasts are the bulk of the audience, and many of them are trying to learn something that they themselves could perform at home in their garage. To their disappointment, the work that produces the vehicles could almost be characterized as censored. Born in March 1963 in North Hills, California, USA, Shawn Pilot is a 59-year-old Caucasian automotive expert and former actor. His early life is generally mysterious, although it's known that his parents were Gilles and Carol Pilot, and he was raised alongside his sister, Patricia. He's thought to have had a strong penchant for vehicles from a very early age, which led him towards the career he has today. But it seems that acting was also one of his passions. After matriculating from a local high school in 1981, he performed various odd jobs to make ends meet for a while. To everyone's surprise, he somehow ended up playing Burm Soldier in 1999's action-adventure comedy film by David O. Russell entitled Three Kings. This was, by all means, a very fortuitous turn of events for Shawn, since he ended up sharing the screen with some of the most famous actors of the time, among whom were George Clooney, Mark Wahlberg, Spike Jonze, and Ice Cube. And there was also Nora Dunn, and in the presence of Cliff Curtis and Jamie Kennedy. The film was spectacularly successful, sweeping 8 awards over the course of 2 years, starting with its earliest commendations in 1999. 2 Boston Society Film Critics Awards in the Best Film and Best Director categories, as well as the National Board of Review Award in the Top 10 Films category. Aside from those, in 2000, it also won the Blockbuster Entertainment Award in the Favorite Action Team category, the Florida Film Critics Circle Award in the Newcomer of the Year category, and the Penn Center USA West Literary Award in the Screenplay category. The following year, it was nominated for 2 other awards but didn't win, totaling 8 wins and 19 nominations overall. The film had a budget of $75 million, grossing $16 million in its opening weekend and subsequently $108 million worldwide, with $61 million being from just the US and Canada. So, everyone thought Shawn would ride the wave of this massively successful film and carve out a career for himself in the lights of Hollywood. But that wasn't the case. For reasons still unknown to the public, he chose to stay out of the spotlight for the next 12 years, only appearing in an episode of Inside West Coast Customs in 2011. One could assume that this is because his love for cars ended up taking over, and so he abandoned the camera for the wrench. As a member of the cast of Inside West Coast Customs, Shawn had the honor of appearing on screen alongside some of the greatest names in the automotive restoration business, including Ryan Friedlinghaus and Hunter Clancy. The show itself explores the daily routines of the employees of West Coast Customs, also known as WCC. This automobile repair and customization shop hails from 1993, when it was started by the visionary Friedlinghaus and Quentin Dotson, making them some of the pioneers of the worldwide business that lucrative car restoration is today. According to legend and Friedlinghaus's own testimony, the business started when Ryan's grandfather gave him $5,000 to pursue his dreams. However, a different source claims that he made the required funds by being a clerk at his father's liquor store. Based in Burbank, California, the West Coast Customs shop is an ultra-high-earning business, with $10 million revenue reported even back in 2008. It all started back when Friedlinghaus was only about 14 years old, at which point he'd already had his design featured in multiple high-profile magazines. In spite of having been extra successful, Ryan was disappointed that he had to alternate between several specialty shops to complete his quotas, and so he eventually opened up his own to solve that issue. Thus far, it's produced custom vehicles with unprecedented designs for a number of celebrities, such as Sean Combs and Shaquille O'Neal. Even world-famous companies have sought their own rides from Friedlinghaus. He's custom-made cars for Britain's Virgin Media, Japan's Nintendo, and even US's Microsoft. Their vehicles have also appeared in a variety of TV shows including Pimp My Ride and Street Customs. The crew owe their reputation and earning to immaculate and diligent work that has turned plain old cars into one-of-a-kind machines that may well be worth a fortune. Their designs are frequently featured as some of the best on the planet, and thus it's unsurprising that they hold the #1 spot on most websites that rank custom shops such as rides/mag.com, which purports WCC to be the undisputed champion. The website claims that they excel at taking car customization to the extreme and reinventing the way popular media sees car culture. West Coast Customs took Pimp My Ride worldwide, paving the way for custom shops the world over. WCC indeed went the world over, opening up shops in Dubai, UAE, as well as Shanghai, China. They tried to penetrate the European market too, but their franchise in Berlin had to close down shortly after launching, as they were unable to avoid insolvency. Their largest premises are still in Burbank, where the facility spreads over 60,000 square feet or 5.6 square kilometers. It isn't known exactly when Shawn started playing poker professionally, but he's made quite a bit of money doing so. He's participated in close to 70 live tournaments, climbing to an enviable position in the standings. He's ranked among the top 2,600 players throughout his time in that career, although it seems to have taken a hit as of late, since he's focused on other endeavors. Combined with the money he made from on-screen appearances, Shawn's poker winnings raise his net worth to just about $700,000, with $40,000 of that having been won in a single poker event. Near the start of the 7th decade of his life, Pilot has a daughter from his former relationship with a woman named Christine Olimpieri. They separated a few decades ago, with the details of their past union still unclear. Their daughter, Shawnee Olimpieri, is dating a woman named Nicole Whitney and apparently has a child as well, possibly making Shawn a proud grandfather. In late 2022, he's still hard at work with the crew of Carmasters Rust to Riches. His Instagram sometimes comes alive so as to tease a brand new episode for the show or one of their unique designs. On the 26th of July 2022, he posted one of the wildest builds from Gotham Garage yet. A car in the shape of a cannon with a rocket-like booster on the back. He said, "Rocket car on season 4 of Carmasters Rust to Riches. We do not disappoint." According to the excited comments of his fans, the show seems to be doing pretty well even at the close of its 4th season, since the hype for the upcoming builds remains at an all-time high, meaning that Shawn's career is still as stable as ever. Thank you for spending some time with us. Make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss another video. We also handpicked these videos which we recommend you watch next. You can talk to us on all social medias or ask a question in the comments below. Thank you for being with us, and we'll see you back tomorrow.